Rob's World.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Rob, and welcome to my tutorial for the In my last video, over 570 people voted in less than a day, and 96% of people said yes, they wanted to see the Origami Kaleidoscope. So, I'm going to show you how to make this today. It's a really awesome model that gets its name from a real kaleidoscope that does something like this. Whee! Okay, I'm dizzy now. It requires 7 modular units that look just like this. Now, it is able to work without tape, however, I found that after a while it does eventually pop out, so I wound up applying a little bit of tape just to hold everything together. I'm going to be using 7 sheets of 8.5 by 11 printer paper, 4 blue and 3 red. However, you can use any kind of paper that you want. If you want to use 7 pieces of origami paper, or you can use 2 sheets, and I'll show you how to split them up into quarters so that you can get something smaller just like this. Once you have the paper you want to use, you're ready to go. Depending on whether you want to make the small kaleidoscope or the big kaleidoscope will determine how you need to rip the paper. If you want to make the small one, we're going to first get the square out of the printer paper, and then we're going to split it into quarters. For the big one, we just need to take the paper and then make it into a square by folding the top edge over to the side edge and tearing off the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. So I did the same with 1 of the red printer sheets to get 3 more of these squares, and I did the same with 6 printer sheets over here to get 6 more of these squares. Because the kaleidoscope is a modular origami model, I'm going to show you how to make 1 of them, and then the rest of the 6 you're going to make on your own because they're exactly the same. I'm going to use the big pieces of paper, but it works the exact same way with the smaller pieces of paper. So let's get started. Now we have a piece of paper that has a diagonal fold going this way. We're going to take the upper left corner and fold it down to the bottom right corner, line up the edges, and make a crease along the edge. Again, we need to be really neat, so just run your fingernail against the edge to make sure it's nice and sharp. Then you can open it up and you'll see we have an X. We're going to take all 4 of the corners here and fold it directly into the middle, just like this. Make a crease along the edge and do the same with the remaining 3. And once again, don't forget to crease your fingernail against the edges here. Now you can open up all 4 of the corners. And you'll see we have a cross and then we have a little bit of a box here. We're going to flip the paper over now, and we're going to take the top edge and fold it down to the bottom. Line up the edges and make a nice sharp crease. Open up the paper, and we're going to fold the top edge and the bottom edge directly onto this horizontal crease here. Now when you unfold the edges, you'll see we now split the paper into quarters. So your paper should look something like this. We're now going to take the paper and fold it in half on the horizontal fold, just like this. And we're basically going to make the water bomb base. In order to do that, just hold it on the left side of this diagonal fold like this, open up these 2 flaps, and we're going to fold it along this back diagonal fold and this front diagonal fold. So just open up the side of the paper and push on this top edge here. At the same time, we want to fold on this diagonal crease and the back one, just like that. As you can see, the paper is kind of already creased on those folds, so it's not that hard to kind of get it to close just like that. Okay, so we just tuck this edge in and we flattened out the paper. Do the same with the other side. Open it up, push all the way up to this top point, so you might need to just untuck the paper if it gets a little wrinkled. Fold it on the front crease and on the back one, and tuck in the middle of the paper so that you have 2 flaps on the left. Flatten out the paper, and now we've basically made a water bomb base. So we're just going to flip it over like this, and we're going to crease the front of the paper on this horizontal fold right here. Take the top edge and pull it down along this crease, just like that. Hold your thumbs in the middle here and just gently press on that horizontal fold all the way to the edges here. Now, as you can see, we have a crease here and a crease here. We're going to fold upwards on those to create valley folds. So, just push here like this, and do the same with the left side. So just push on this little triangle, and flatten it out. And as you'll see now, we have an upside down house. So we're going to do that with the other side. Flip it over, pull down on this, on the horizontal crease, put your thumbs inside, and press all the way to the edge. Now we can fold upwards on this little V here, okay? So just push up like that and crease, and push up like that and crease. So now you see we'll have something that looks almost like an upside down house, okay? We're going to open it up here now and do the same thing that we did with the water bomb base, the inside reverse fold. Open it up and just push like that so that you have a little bit of a flap. See, we have a little flap here. Do the same with the other three. Open it up, push, and flatten it out. Flip it over, open, push, and flatten it out. Now we can flatten the whole thing out and just make really good creases on this edge here and all four of the edges. So now you've completed one of the modular units and it should look just like this. Once your paper looks just like mine, we need to make 6 more of the modular units. So take your remaining 6 sheets and make 6 more. So now you should have 7 modular units and you're ready to join them up to create the Origami Infinity Kaleidoscope. Okay, so to make the kaleidoscope, I'm going to start out with just 2 units and I'm going to set the rest of them aside. If you pick up 2 of the units and you open up the one on the left, you'll see in the middle we have an X right there. Okay, I'm just going to make a dot so you can see it. And the one on the right, we have a point right on the end here. To join the 2 units, we need to put this point right in the middle here. So if you open up the pieces and you slide it so that this edge of the paper is directly in the middle of the piece on the left, you'll see that they'll actually slide right in because the folds are identical. So you just need to slip it in here like this so that these 2 points line up and make sure that the folds overlap. Now all we need to do is to just flatten everything out, just like that. So it might be a little tricky at first, but you'll see once you flatten it out, all of the folds should be overlapped. Now we're going to do the same thing with another unit. Take a blue one now, or whatever color you're using, open it up a little bit, not too much, and this point here is going to go in the middle of the red one, right here. So again, just kind of slide it in here like this and open up this flap and line up the creases. So line up this one and this one, just like that. Now we could just flatten it out again. So now you should have something like this. And then we're going to take another red unit and the same thing. So we're just going to take the point and put it in the middle of the paper, line up the folds, and flatten everything out. Flatten it, and then grab another unit and do the same exact thing. Point in the middle and line up the creases, flatten it out. Take another red unit, put the point directly in the middle of the blue one, and again, flatten all the creases. Now we're ready to do the last unit. It works the same way. Take the point and put it in the middle of the red unit and flatten everything out. So now you should have all 7 modular units connected and we are ready to join them up together. At this point you should have something that looks just like this. So when you flip it over you should have alternating colors if you use 2 different colors. And you'll see this is the first unit that I started with because there's a little black point down there, okay? This is the last unit I just added. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate everything like this and bring the 2 last units, end units, together. This is the last one I just added. This one is going to go into the middle of the first unit. So just open up the first unit just like that, and this is the middle right there where I made that little dot. So it's a little bit tricky, but with the bigger units it's not as hard. So we're just going to basically put this point right here in the middle. So it's a little tricky at first, but we're just going to put it just like that, okay? Right in there. And in like that. There we go. I got it in. Alright, now I just need to make sure all of the creases are really sharp. Okay, so this is the last unit right here. I'm going to close it and just crease along the edge here. And right here where I just added it because we can't really flatten it out anymore. All right, so you're just going to pinch it right here where we just added. All right, just make sure all of the units are really lined up, and you've completed the Origami Infinity Kaleidoscope. Now you'll see it will work without tape. However, eventually I found that it'll pop out or get stuck. So what I like to do is put a little bit of tape right on the edges here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that so it looks something like this. As you'll see, I put a little tape here, and all throughout the rest of the kaleidoscope. So just take a small amount of tape, maybe like that long, okay, like the width of your pinky, tear it, and we're going to put a little bit right here and fold it over. Okay, again, if you want to just ensure that all these creases are nice and sharp, what I like to do is you just pinch them like this, and just crease along the edges. Now, to get it to work, what you're going to do is you're going to put your thumbs on the inside here, and your pointers and fingers on the other side. Now, all of the bottom points need to touch in order to get it to flip inside out. So watch, ready? This is it flipping inside out, okay? All the bottom points are touching, and that's one. Now, on the bottom here, again, all the bottom points are touching, and I open it like that, okay? So that's two different configurations. Now, this is the hardest one to kind of get to go inside out. So you kind of got to bring everything together like this, and you can kind of flip it, all right? Just like that. And that's all the different configurations. So you just got to go along with it and practice it, and you'll see you'll be able to get it to flip. Now, if it does get stuck like this, see how that got stuck? What you're going to have to do is just basically bring it to the center like that and put it back in. If worse comes to worse, you need to open it up and just flatten everything out again and interlock them again. But honestly, I've never really had to do that. I just kind of fix it like that. Okay? So again, you're just turning it inside out by taking your fingers and pushing in the middle here on all the points and opening it up like a flower almost. And there you go. There is your Origami Infinity Kaleidoscope. Definitely one of my most favorite models now. Thank you guys so much for watching my video for the Origami Infinity Kaleidoscope. I hope you really enjoyed it like I do. If you did like it, be sure to leave a like down below by pressing the thumbs up button. It really helps me out. And also don't forget to subscribe by clicking the little button somewhere around here or also down below, and click the notification bell so you get all notifications from my channel. So what do you guys want to see next? I'm going to flash some stuff on the screen so you might have to pause it. The Ninja Star Cube, the Flapping Dragon, the Mini Flick Football, or maybe some easy dollar magic. Leave me a comment down below, let me know, and also don't forget to vote in the poll. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.